might be alive. We'll wait for everyone to get on, and then we'll get started with our show tonight. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I got a little sidetracked on time tonight. We'll wait for everybody. When you come in, let me know you're here by saying hello. You do it, so I'll know you're here. Hope everyone can hear me and see me good. Audio is bad. Hold on. Let me. How about now? How's the audio now? Can you hear me now? Good. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad we got that situated today. We're going to do the rest of this in Pig Latin. If you guys would do me a big favor, because we're 30 minutes late coming on tonight, if y'all would go let everybody know for me, please. So like, share, and hit that. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscription button and the notification bell so that you'll know when we're on. It'll let you know every time we come on how we're live. I'm trying to get the sign in there. There we go. I know everything's kind of wampus. We had to do a different thing here today. Y'all can still see the website, right? CAPI Paranormal. When I move my big Chrome dome out of the way. CAPIParanormal.com. Hey, Black Tower. See who all's on so I can say hello. Give some shout outs to my peeps. Aubrey's here. Hello, Aubrey. Black Tower. Hello again. Michelle Davis. Hello, beautiful Michelle Davis. John is here. Hello, John, my brother. A little low, but good. Let's see what we can do about that. We're going to see if we can fix this little low thing. Oh, that was your sound, not mine? All right, I've got everything on max. So can you guys hear me pretty good? Am I coming through loud and clear? This is WCAPI Radio. Can you hear me now? Audio good, guys? Y'all let me know. I just turned everything to max. And the mic is up and doing good. Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome, Black Tower. Appreciate that. I hope everybody had an awesome week, and I hope you had a great weekend, Easter weekend, a good Friday, and good Easter Sunday. Hope you guys ate way too much food and found eggs and colored eggs, and now you're full on baked beans and boiled eggs, and I'm sure there's not a house in the state that smells good right now. That's the all the guys that ate all the deviled eggs and boiled eggs and baked beans and turkey and ham. I bet you it's smelling pretty bad around the houses right now. Hey, Eric's on with us. We're gonna let everybody get on, and then we'll get started. Where's Beth? Is Beth on with us? Beth, are you here? John, can you go share and notify everybody for me, buddy? If you haven't already done so, he probably already has. I know that's what Paramount is doing right now because it just sent me a notification that she is sharing her little heart away. Could you take the label off of one of those small drinks and hand it to me when you get done, please? Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. Man, I did. I ate way too much food and had a lot of fun hiding eggs and then watching the kids find the eggs, and it was just crazy go nuts. This thing is telling me I have 3 people on, but I know I have more than 3 people on because there's a lot more people saying stuff. So I don't even go by that thing anymore. I don't even like it. I don't trust it. Aubrey says, I did. Awesome. We'll let some people get on here, and then we will get started. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. I'm sorry we were 30 minutes late. We had to, every weekend, we have to go out to the ranch and get everything ready. The mechanics be wonky. Are you saying the on here it's not coming through good, Black Tower? Is that what you're saying? He said the mechanics be wonky, so I was wondering if who's talking about on here. Your head counter. Oh yeah. I don't even trust that thing anymore, man, because I've had 5-6 people talking and sending text or messages on the board here at one time, and I look up and it says I have 2 people on. So I don't even go by that thing anymore. I don't know. YouTube's kind of wickety whack when it comes to stuff like that. I don't think they want you to think you have that many people on. It's crazy. But I just go. I don't care. I'll do a show. I've said a million times, I'll do the show for one person. I don't care about all that stuff. How many people view it? Because most people that view our show, the CAPI Live, view it afterwards. They don't view it during the live. That most of our views that we get on our shows are done where people come back and watch it later. So I don't really care about that head count thing. Who gives a clud? Bethy, where are you? Why is Bethy not here? We're missing Beth. Can you go to Central Alabama Paranormal Facebook and the Alabama Paranormal and see what people are commenting on the post that I said at 9:30? Because I think there's some people commenting that they don't know how to get there. So would you look and see if that's true? It's telling me that people are commenting on it. Probably on strike. That's right. That's on strike. Here's our website, y'all. CAPIParanormal.com. Go there for all of our merch. Go there for all of our bios. You go there for everything. For the books, for the equipment, everything. I'm wearing some merch tonight, as you can see. I ain't afraid of no ghost. I ain't afraid of no ghost. And this ghost actually glows in the dark. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Isn't that cool? And then we have one that says, it's a ghost. And then we have all the stuff that is actually on the site too. So y'all go check that stuff out. Please, please, please. Thank you, John. John popped it up there so that all you, if you don't want to go there, you just want to touch it, just touch right there where he just popped that up, and it'll take you straight to our website. If you're on a PC right now or a laptop that doesn't have a touch screen, then just click on that. But if you're on your phone or a PC or laptop that has a touch screen, just touch right there where it says capiparanormal.com/shop, and it'll take you straight to our merch. And the other one will take you straight, the one above that will take you straight to our website. And then this last one that he just put on here will take you to the equipment that we have vetted and used and approved for use in the paranormal investigations. So y'all go check out our site, do what you gotta do. And if you want to buy some merch, please do. That kind of helps us out a lot. Helps us pay for all this stuff. So yeah, y'all go buy some merch. I'm sorry I wasn't on last week. I wasn't feeling well at all. Or was it last week that I wasn't on, or the week before? I think I was on last week. Yeah, I was, because I did it at the barn. I was on last week, but we wasn't here and we didn't do the show like we wanted to do the show because I was at the barn trying to get everything ready. We're still working diligently to get everything ready so that we can move out to our new place. We're so excited about that. I am super excited. I just don't know. I am crazy excited about moving out there to be with the animals and be out of the city and be out of this house. That's my big thing. Thank you. Or welcome back, Aubrey. All right, so you guys, who remembers what we were going to start tonight? What series were we starting tonight? Does anybody remember? Bet you nobody remembers. What series were we starting tonight? Rushing Rivers Ranch without the rivers. That's right. Joey came up with that. I like it. Rushing Rivers. Now it's going to be Rocking R Ranch. Rocking R Ranch. Religion and the paranormal. Very good, Bowen. Look at the big brain on Bowen. He forgets nothing. John's my radar. Y'all remember Radar from MASH? The young people won't know what I'm talking about. But John's my radar. He knows stuff before I even ask it. Drink and I know things. That's right. That's too cool. Did you drink them, John? Or did you leave them in the commemorative box? I'm curious. I don't care either way. Did you drink them or did you leave them in the commemorative box? What did you decide to do with that? Let me know. I'm just curious. I bet you he drank them. They're still in the box. Okay. All right, buddy. That's cool. Well, that's why I gave it to you when I gave it to you. I gave him an early birthday present. I gave it to him because I didn't know when he would be able to drink them. I didn't know if he wanted to drink them or just leave them in the box because it was a collector's item. But happy Easter, happy CAPI family. Thank you, Aubrey. Happy Easter to you too. So we are going to talk about, where's everybody at? We don't have Beth. We don't have Margot. We don't have Katie. Where is everybody at? Cool. I haven't eaten dinner tonight. We had a big lunch. So we did our Easter lunch at the in-laws. And I really need that drink, babe. We had a really big lunch and everybody ate a lot, so we didn't really eat anything. I think what I'm going to do is we snagged the leftover turkey and ham. So I think whenever after CAPI Live is over, I'm going to be eating some turkey sandwiches. I felt like I was going to die. I ate so much. That's cool. That's good, Aubrey. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to eat a bunch. Okay, welcome back, Black Tower. Hey, can you hold this for a second? Just hold it right there. It's hard to do one-handed. Danke for life. Much better. Much better when I can get a sip of my unknown black substance. I posted in the Ghost Riders chat. Awesome, John. Thank you. You've done that too. That's too funny. But yeah, we're going to talk about religion, ghost and religion, hauntings and religion, and the way that the church views that here venom. So that and tonight I want to open this discussion up tonight with whoa, sorry, kind of moving stuff around here. I'm trying to get the microphone set. Sorry guys if I'm making you kind of stir crazy there, or seasick, whatever it's called. Trying to get this thing set. There we go. Much better. All right. Now we can see the CAPI and all that. No more than usual. Cool. All right, no more than usual. What we're going to talk about tonight is I want to talk about some personal experiences that I've had with run-ins with religion and the paranormal, and where I started out, and how that all came about, and talk about a couple of ambushes that I've been a part of through the church. And then tomorrow we will get in on the different religions and their views on the paranormal or the supernatural. Religion has to believe in the supernatural. They don't have a choice. Christianity has to believe in the supernatural. If they didn't believe in the supernatural, the Bible thumper story, yeah, right, John? Both of them. If Christianity didn't believe in the supernatural, because if you think about it, the supernatural is pretty much what happened. You know, I mean, as far as Bible view goes, so they do believe in the supernatural. You know, and even God, you know, Jesus himself talked about demons and exorcisms and stuff like that. So we, so they do believe in it. And they do believe in ghosts too, but most of them have a different view of what ghosts are. And we're going to get into that tonight as well. But that's what I want to do tonight. So I want to start this series off with my personal experiences, maybe some of your personal experiences, the views that you guys have seen being in the paranormal, and the views that I've seen being in the paranormal. I've had quite a bit of run-ins with Christianity and the church over the past 40 plus years. Some good, some bad. Some started good, turned bad. Some started bad, turned good. You know, so you can be a Christian and be a paranormalist at the same time. All right. I wrote a thesis on this. I wish I could find that daggone thing, because it had a lot of references to people like Elizabeth Dowen and Dave Oyster, a couple other people that I can't really pop in my mind right now. Dave Oyster was a big, blessed or rest his soul. He's passed now, but he was a paranormal psychologist like me. He wrote several books, several really good books. Some of the books I reference now, even today, and I use them for research as well. But he was a big advocate for hauntings and paranormal investigations within the church. How you can still be a paranormalist and a Christian at the same time. Church has been closed-minded for a long time on this subject. Some churches, some sects have been very closed-minded on this for a very long time. And that's what we want to do, is we want to, with this series, we want to dispel a lot of those beliefs and a lot of those myths. And there's Katie. Hey, Katie. She's here. Now we need Margot and Beth. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get to y'all's comments. Hey, Katie, welcome to the show. Glad you made it. Happy Easter to you, too. I hope you guys had a great Easter weekend. Could it be possible that the elite on the church view paranormal investigators are too lowly to properly understand what they are dealing with, and so are walking a dangerous line? Don't understand that one. Hold on, let me read it again. I know you worded it correctly, I think. I just didn't get it. Could it be possible that the elite on the church view, on the elite in the church, I think that's what that's supposed to say, view paranormal investigators are too lowly to properly understand what they are dealing with, and so are walking a dangerous thin line? Absolutely, John. That's a very good question now that I understand it. That's a very good question. You know what? That is probably 80% of why the church views the paranormal the way they do. That's probably 80%, because they feel that first of all, they feel that we need to be saved. Some of them view or feel that we need to be exorcised, because it has to be a case of demonics going on there, or otherwise we wouldn't be doing what we do. And they go by stuff like Thessalonians and Deuteronomy. And we're going to get into all the references on the next show, when we get into the different religions and how different religions view the paranormal, and how they use Bible verses to combat paranormal. It's all in the interpretation. And y'all know it's like that 100% on everything. In the field of the law, that's why certain people are only allowed to interpret law, because everybody wouldn't get it, right? And Bible's the same way. You know, certain people are called to interpret the Bible. They're called ministers or fathers or reverends, or, you know, whatever, you know, elders, whatever that sect calls them. And they interpret different things. Christianity is bad about picking and choosing which verse and Bible rule that they want to follow, if you will, to suit their current debate. And that's where paranormal falls in the religion, or into the church, not really religion. And that's something I want to make real clear after this statement. But that's where they fall, their beliefs fall, is because they're interpreting the Bible in a certain way to where it would make it look like paranormalists are breaking an abominable rule. Much like they do with homosexuality and, you know, other things like that. But do your research on that too. But I'm not going to get into that. But what I want this series to do is I don't want to expose anyone in the church, and I don't want to expose anybody in the paranormal either. What I want to do is I want to show how that you can be a Christian and be a paranormalist at the same time. And I want to dispel those myths out there that say that that's not possible. And I'm going to get to y'all's comments real quick. But this is one thing I want to make perfectly clear through this entire series that we do. It's going to be a 4-part series, and I want to make something perfectly clear. We are not
Playing your
dispelling...
personalized station, my soundtrack from Amazon Music.
Sorry about that.
Alexa, off. Alexa, off. Alexa, off.
Michelle was trying to program her Alexa in her phone, and
No. It's triggered by something you said. I don't know.
oh, she's still doing it. Alexa, go to sleep.
I didn't do that.
Oh, you didn't do that.
No,
Oh, it just did it by something. It did that the other night too. When no one said Alexa.
picked up something.
Y'all, these Alexas and Siris are starting to scare me. Oh, she heard me say her name.
Yeah.
But we didn't say her name before, but she's been doing that here lately. She's been just like clicking on for no reason. So they always listening. Big brother listening, y'all. I ain't playing. You're listening to you. Better be careful what you say. But sorry about that. I want to make something perfectly clear. When we talk about our series through this entire series, when we talk about Christianity, Catholicism, the different views on the different churches and how they see the paranormal, I want to make it perfectly clear that we are talking about the Christian church. We are not talking about religion. All right. Religion has no business in this, just like I believe religion has no business in Christianity. The number one tool against Christians today is religion. Religion is a bad, bad thing. It is more wars and deaths and famine has been caused by religion than anything else. I think that one of the greatest things that have happened in the last decade is that so much Christianity has gotten away from religion. And yes, they are. People say they're not getting away from religion. They are religion. No, they're not. Christianity is not religion. All right. That's why so many non-denominational churches are being popped up. I'm an ordained minister. For y'all that didn't know that, I am an ordained minister through a non-denominational sect. So I don't believe in religion. I think religion is the biggest tool against Christianity today. I really do. And we're going to get into that when we start the series when we start our next part on this. All right, let me catch up with y'all's comments. John, that was an awesome question. And that goes a lot into why I want to do this series too. The basis behind that question goes a lot into why I even started this, or why I even wanted to even include this on the live. I come from a long line of spiritual and gifted bloodline. I'm an occultist and magical practitioner myself. I think personally God is within us, and in all things there is no division. I agree with you to a point, Black Tower. I really do. I don't personally believe in what you practice, but to a point, I do agree with that we put more emphasis. And when I say we, I want y'all to know that it's Christianity puts more emphasis on what God is for them than what God actually is. So, and I think that's where we run into a lot of the problems that we have. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, about a lot of stuff that has happened. I'm not hateful or disrespectful to anyone for what they believe. I just have my own thoughts and beliefs. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, Black Tower. That's actually a great way to be. I wish more people were like that, instead of telling me what I should believe and what I should do, religious wise. um, and is pushing more people away from the church. John, I believe it because it's a slippery slope and causes people to ask questions the church can't answer. Amen on that. We're going to talk about that too. I have a close friend that is a pastor. When I told him that I joined CAPI, he was very concerned for me, but he knows where my faith is. And you know what? That's awesome. It was Toby. Yeah. That was Toby that messed with A. I can't say her name because she'll come on, but A. Yeah. We're going to call her A. Christianity is not a religion. It's a relationship with Christ. That's why I love him so much, y'all. He really is. I don't seek to offend anyone. Of course not. Hey, Michelle. Awesome you joining us. It's okay you're late. We're just getting started. I love Jesus. Awesome, Black Tower. I do too. All right, so let's get into this. Remember, we're not talking about religion here, okay? Because religion is such a broad band of myths, misinformation, folklore, misguided ideals. So we're not talking about religion here. We're talking about Christianity and the paranormal. All right. That's what we want to get into, because there are some sects out there that says you cannot be a Christian and a paranormalist at the exact same time. Those same people also said that you can't be homosexual and Christian at the same time. I disagree with both of those. I really do. I think that, and as far as the homosexuality, and the only reason I use that as an example is because it ties into a lot of the ideals that early Christians kind of added to, if you will. Because we already know, and I'm not going to debate this tonight. We made some part during this series if y'all want to, but I'm not going to debate it tonight. But we already know that the Bible, parts of it were excluded and parts of it were added, all right, to fit the Catholic and the Christian view. All right, we already know that, but I'm not going to debate that with you tonight. Like I said, we may get into that towards the end of the series. But I want to talk about right now some of the situations and experiences that I've had through the church and paranormal. I was a young evangelist. I felt the call to minister early in life. Up until I was about 14, 15, I thought that that's what I was going to do with my life, is be a minister. I knew that I wanted to be a non-denominational minister. Because I had the same reviews on religion then as I do now, even at an early age. So I wanted to be a non-denominational minister. My microphone keeps falling. I'm so sorry, you guys. There we go. And I was big into the paranormal even then. Remember, I've told you guys before a million times that I started this when I was 8 years old, is when my interest in the paranormal started, is whenever I turned to 8. I believe you are a minister and this is your mission field. Amen. I agree with that. The paranormal is my mission field. I am an ordained minister through the New Age Church, non-denominational. I can do marriages and all that stuff, and funerals and all that. But course, in Alabama, you don't need a minister to do marriage anymore, which I think is sickening, but we're not getting into that. But the the church didn't view a lot of my views. They didn't share a lot of my views. They really didn't. They didn't agree with what I was doing. So right in the middle of me being fashioned to be a minister and a young evangelist, the church found out. I didn't talk about the paranormal whenever I was young. I didn't talk about the paranormal well into my 20s because it was forbidden and taboo, and and you just didn't do stuff like that. That was devil worshiping, and so I didn't talk about it. And when it started becoming more and more popular in the mid 80s, I think it's when it started getting more mainstream. Paranormal started getting more mainstream. Then the early 90s, I'd say mid 90s is whenever it kind of mainstreamed out really good. And mass media and all that started picking it up on it. And then you had shows like Ghost Hunter and not Paranormal Experience. That's a joke. But Ghost Hunters, Taps, and oh man, there was one that went. I can't remember if somebody can remember that first one that went around and they didn't do investigations. They talked to people. I'm sorry, I'm missing else. I thought about doing that. You thought about doing what? Being ordained? I think everyone should. I really do. I think if you feel that way and you feel called to do that, you should. And it's super simple and not super expensive to do too. To each a portion was given his just using his portion. Yep. The parable of the talents. Gotta love John. And I'm not going to go into what all happened there, and who was involved and all that stuff. But ultimately, I was asked to leave, and I gladly did that because I didn't really agree with a lot of what was going on there anyway. I was spoiled at a really good church growing up. I was in a Pentecostal church. I grew up Catholic and Pentecostal, and you imagine those family reunions. But I had an awesome minister when I was growing up. I still follow him very much. He's on Facebook and does ministries on Facebook, and I still follow him every week, twice a week. He's one of my favorite ministers out there. He's an Assembly of God minister, Pentecostal, but he's an awesome, awesome, awesome guy. I don't have his permission to mention who he is on here or his channel on Facebook, but if you go and look at my likes on Facebook, you'll find it. But I'm sure if I asked him, he wouldn't have a problem with it, but I have not done that, so I'm not going to. But he wasn't part of what I went through as far as being expelled from the church. I don't think he would have. Well, he probably would have. But he's a very stern guy, but I still love him to death. But in a nutshell, I was asked to leave, and so I did. And that's when I started realizing, before that incident, now I'd already been in the paranormal for a long, long time, almost 10 years. Or more than 10 years. Yeah, around the 10-year mark. And before that time, I didn't really, how can I say this? I didn't understand the power of the paranormal in relation to religion and the hypocrisy with the church believing in supernatural but not paranormal. And when that happened, that kind of catapulted me. I don't think I would be where I'm at today in the paranormal. I'm known in the paranormal field very, very well. I've been doing this for a long, long time. A lot of people know me. I've had 4 teams that I've been affiliated with, one that I led and founded with my son, which is this one, CAPI. And I didn't really start understanding the power of the division between paranormal and religion, or the church, I should say, until that moment. That catapulted my mind into doing what I wanted to do. That's what really shot me forward to study as much as I did, to go as far as I did with it, and to be where I'm at today. So, they say everything happens for a reason, whether you believe that or not. I don't think that CAPI would exist. I truly don't believe that I would have stayed in the paranormal, because there was times in the paranormal that, in my life in the paranormal, there's been times that it just was not very welcome. Family members, friends didn't appreciate what I did, or want anything to do with it. I lost friends over this. I did. I lost some really good friends because of their. I'm trying to stay away from words like brainwashed and misinformation. I guess I can go with misinformation, because that's what it was. They didn't just come up with their own thing that, Johnny's a devil worshiper. That didn't come from them. It came from their ministers. It came from their different religious backgrounds. And I didn't really understand that power there until that happened to me. And so when that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, there's really something to this. That in my mind, I'm thinking, my young mind, I'm thinking, they wouldn't want me out of this if there wasn't something to this. There's something there. There's a danger there that they don't want me to know. So I really want to get into this and figure out, I think that catapulted my want and desire to go as far as I could with it. It really did. My interest was already piqued because of an experience I had when I was 8. But my determination and passion and all that was all born from that experience that I first had with the church. So I think that all happened for a reason, to get me to where this right here is, to this right here. This right here wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that moment. I really believe that, because there was times in the paranormal that if I had not been as into it and as passionate about it and everything like that, that I would have never made it through, because, like the old country song says, I think Barbara Mandrell sang it and said that she was country when country wasn't cool. Well, I was paranormal when paranormal was not cool. So I don't think I would have made it through that without that boost, without that encouragement, because that's what it did. That's what it did. They tried to get me away from it, but what they did was they encouraged me to go further and go forward with it. And for that, I'm thankful. I really am, because that's where I'm at today. And I was able to realize that, hey, I can still be a Christian and do this. I can still be a Christian and be paranormal. I can still be a Christian and study parapsychology. I don't have to give up that to have this, and that made me, and that's why earlier I used homosexuality. That a lot of deaths in the homosexuality field come from the people not being able to handle what they are and the church's view of what they're destined for, right? So that was me too. In this, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, I don't want to lose what I had in Christianity. I don't want to lose my beliefs there. I don't want to, I don't want to go to hell and die and over and over and over, and forever torment. I want to go to heaven. I want that mansion. I want that grace. I want that eternity of spirituality, But how can I get that if I'm a paranormalist, And so I found out that, you can be. And so that's why my thesis paper was on that. My a lot of my studies was on that. The book that I'm still currently writing, I have been for 15, 20 years plus. One of these days I'll get it done. But the book I'm writing, the first book is Christianity or Paranormal in Christianity. And because of that, I was able to continue doing what I'm doing now on a higher level. Okay. I hope that gets it across, and I'm gonna get to y'all's comments. I know you guys are just talking at me, but I'm gonna get to you. I promise. Somebody else joined us. Dixie. Hello, Dixie. Paranormal. Let me get back so I can get to y'all's comments. I thought about doing that. The parable of the talents. Catholistical. That's too cool, John. I like that because I said Pentecostal and Catholic. Some churches think the only spirit is the Spirit of God. Some the Holy Ghost. Outside of that, the rest can go bump in fear and paranoia rules where logic is unable to define. Absolutely, Black Tower. That's a lot of what I found. And now you have experience. You wouldn't have had any other way. That's right, brother. That's exactly right. Yes, welcome, Dixie. So that's what I want to get across in this series is no matter what happens, no matter how many times you're pushed off that pedestal, no matter how many times you're scorned and rebuked and called a devil worshiper and all that, I want you to understand that it's your true belief, right? It's your faith. That's what matters. Doesn't matter what everybody else says. All right. Doesn't matter what they do. And once you get into that mindset, then you can lead your life the way you want to lead your life and still be a Christian. All right. There's nothing wrong with doing what we do. All right. Because we don't do what God spoke against. All right. We're going to get into that. So some of the experiences that I've had, the first one that pops in my mind was the standing on the Bible ambush. Have you ever been on a coast to coast Art Bell radio show? I have not. I do like Art Bell and what's the other guy's name? The start of that show. I can't remember his name now. How many times have clients told us that they went to their church to get help and were turned away? About to get into that. Absolutely. Thank you, John, for saying that. I love Coast to Coast. Who is this? Morbus of Krill. I don't know what that means. But no, I have never been on Art Bell's show. I believe some people are called to study the paranormal because those people help people who experience the paranormal get answers they can't get from the church and religion. Oh my God. Why are we doing this series? I don't understand. Why even do this series? You guys are already there. Y'all already know everything that I'm going to tell you because you're saying it right now. Y'all, John and Michelle have done jumped to like the third part of the series. Y'all are so awesome. I love you guys so much. Wow, turned away. How would well, you would think they would have at least come out and prayed over the house and the family. No, they won't do that. A lot of sects won't do that. George Norrie, thank you, John. That was going to bug me and bug me and bug me. George Norrie, yeah. No, I love that show. I don't forgot their name. I'm so horrible. Morbius. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Morbius. I've never been on Art Bell or George Norrie's show, but I do love those shows. I would have been if I would have done something that I didn't want to do. If I would have taken that show, I'm sure I would have been, because that was one of the promotions we were going to use. We were starting to explain that we were starting to do a paranormal show, but they didn't want to adhere to my integrity, and so that kind of got busted. But George Norrie's show, Coast to Coast AM was part of the marketing that we were going to do. I used to go by Mr. Cartoons. Oh, that's too cool. Incoming choppers, yeah. Have you ever encountered any demon spirits? Yes, Sunset, I have. All right. You missed our last series, Sunset. That's what our last series was on, was demonology. But I want to talk about this one. This is a funny one. I received a call. I was in Laurel, Mississippi. Received a call about an investigation. It was an old farmhouse just outside of Laurel, and it was deep in the woods. They said, just follow the dirt road until you can't take your car anymore. Get out of the car, walk 100 yards on the trail, and you'll come to an old cabin. And that's where we want you to investigate. I said, okay, no problem. Well, I have a rule. It's followed. It's not just my rule. It's International Paranormal Society rule, is that you never investigate alone. This investigation, the stuff they told us that was going on, was so inviting and so amazing that, and it was crazy stuff too. Like, people were being pushed down, and people were levitating. People were getting scratched. There was sexual abuse, all kinds of stuff. I don't even remember everything. It was crazy. It's like they got it out of a textbook, which I should have known. But I was just excited. I was newly on my own and just started a team. Well, nobody on my team could go. Nobody. It was only 6 of us, I think. Nobody on that team could go. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go anyway, just to check it out. If I don't get to investigate, fine. At least I get to find the place, get to know the people, talk to them about it. I said, I'll just do an initial interview with them face to face. And so I went on out there by myself. I had my equipment, but I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to investigate because, like I said, I was by myself. And on the way out there, something told me, I just got that gut feeling, that something's not right here. Something's not, on the up and up here. And so I'm like, maybe I should turn around. Maybe I shouldn't go. And then when I started going out on this road, when I finally found the old road and I started going out there, guys, while I'm driving down this road, tree branches are hitting the side of my truck. All right. And the top. So I'm going through like a tree tunnel down this old cattle road. And there's trees like brushing the side of my truck and the top of my truck. That's how overgrown this place was. And when I did get to the place to where I couldn't take a truck any longer, you're talking about thicket. I mean, there was a trail, but it was like thicket and all this stuff. And I'm just going through there and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it was starting to get a little bit dark. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely not going to investigate this. I'm just going to talk to them, check this place out, see what we can do from there. So I make it to the cabin finally. About 45 minutes after turning on that road, I finally make it to the cabin. There are 3 people standing outside the cabin, an older man and 2 much older women. All of them very gray and very old. And to be absolutely honest with you, when I first saw this trio, the first thing that popped in my head was that they were the ghost. I'm not kidding. That's the first thing that popped in my head was, oh my God, I'm here all alone and these are the ghosts. I really thought that when I first saw them because they were also, I mean, like super old and like pale. And I thought, oh my gosh, these people are the ghosts. I just walked in to their little ghostly meeting, you know. So when I went over and introduced myself and everything, they were very nice, very, very welcoming and very polite, and asked me, you know, my name and what I do and, you know, what kind of equipment I was going to use and all this stuff. And the older gentleman asked me, he says, would you like to go in? And I said, yeah. I said, I'd like to go in and take a look if that's okay. And he said, that's fine, but we're not going in. He said, you can go in. And that happens. That's not unusual for the types of, when you do an investigation somewhere that no one lives there. And that there's a lot of activity, especially activity that they were talking about was going on. That's not unusual for that to happen, for them to say, you know, you're more than welcome to go in and investigate, but we're not going in there. You know, we know what's going on there. That happens a lot. So I didn't think anything about that. He said, you're more than welcome to go in and check it out. We're not going in. So I walk into this cabin. They're still outside. And I hear them talking. And make sure you have your gun and it's loaded. Yeah, I didn't have a gun then. I didn't really need a gun with them, though. I could push them over because they were like they were like in their 80s, 90s. I mean, they were really old people. I really thought they were the ghosts when I first walked out of the thicket into this trail, this opening where the cabin was. I really and truly, I'm like, holy crap, there's 3 ghosts. I was expecting them to be the ghosts and the people to be inside. But turns out, like I said, nobody lives in this place. And we did an investigation that Zach Bagans ran away from. We sure did. But I go inside, and it's nothing unusual. It's a 3-room cabin. It's dark, it's damp, it's cold in there, and there's a little bit of light coming in on one side, and it was throwing shadows, and it was a creepy place, you know. But I've always been in very inviting into those kind of places. It's never bothered me, so I was just like checking the place out and everything. I was actually thinking that this would be a nice place to fix up and live in, you know. And so I'm go through there a few minutes. I wasn't in there very long, probably because it was only a 3-room cabin. It didn't take very long. There was a big room when you first walk in, and then there was like an L wall there with a door at the end, and you went into what I thought would be the bedroom. And then on the other side of that was like a food preparation area, like a kitchen. You could tell there used to be a wood burning stove in there that was no longer there. There was a fireplace in the big room. There was no bathroom in there. I'm sure the bathroom was out back somewhere and long been rotted away or whatever. But I'm not psychic. I can't go to a place and talk to ghosts. People think of that a lot about paranormalists, is that we're all psychic. We're not. All right. So I didn't, you know, but I do feel like if we go to places, and this is just from experience, when you go to so many places, you do get that feeling of, you know, presence there after a while. And I was at that point then, and I had walked in, and I didn't get that feeling. You know, I felt like I was in an old house. That was it, just an old cabin. So it wasn't that big of a deal. So I said, well, I'm going to walk back outside and talk to them a little bit more and let them know that I'm not going to investigate because I'm by myself, you know. But if they wanted me to 100%, then maybe we could, you know, they could join me if they would, but they already said they wouldn't go in the house. So I'm going to go back there and check it out. So I walk outside. There's nobody there. They're all gone. There's nobody outside with me. And I'm like, holy crap, you know, where did they go? And then while I was in, I could hear them talking and moving around outside. But you know, and moments before I walked outside, I could hear them. And so I was like, I know they're here, unless they really were ghosts, you know. So I'm walking back towards where the thicket opened up. And in my mind, I'm like, maybe they went ahead and they thought I was going to investigate, and they've left. And now it's getting to be quite a bit dark. There's still a little bit of light left, but not much. And so I start towards there, and I hear You leaving so soon? And so I turn and look, and they're standing on the other side of the cabin. And they motioned for me to come. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, I'm sorry, I thought y'all left. And they're like, no, we haven't gone anywhere. And so I said, okay, I'm sorry. So I turn around and I start walking back there. And I noticed as I'm approaching these three people, I noticed the old man now has a minister Bible in his hand. Now, I hope y'all know what a minister Bible is, an old Baptist minister's Bible. Y'all know what that is? It's the Bible that you hold by the closed end that folds over. Y'all know what I mean? Like you're holding it right here and the Bible will fold over because it's been opened and closed so much and turned that it folds over, you know, and the leather and the paper are now just wilted and it folds over your hand. He's holding that, and you can see another thing that you can tell if it's a minister's Bible is the edge of the papers are different colors because they done highlighted and written on and circled everything so much. You can see different colors in there, and you see tabs sticking out and stuff like that. That's a minister's Bible. He's holding this thing in his hand and he's shaking it. And I'm like, okay. And as I approach further, I noticed that the two females are now standing on what looked like huge family Bibles. You remember those huge family Bibles that everybody had? Probably still everybody does. I know we have one. But it's this huge family Bible, and they're standing on it. Both the old ladies are standing on these big white family Bibles. And they're both praying. As soon as I saw that, I knew what was up. I knew what was happening. I just walked right into the middle of a Bible thumping ambush. There was no reason for me to be out there whatsoever. I don't even know if the place was haunted or not. And even if it was, I don't think anybody would know. But all this stuff that I should have picked up on from the time I heard about this to the time I walked through the woods and everything, all the stuff that I should have picked up on started popping in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly what's going on. I'm Pentecostal. I know what they fixing to do. And so I'm like, just kind of shaking my head and grinning, and they're looking at me and they're like, they were convinced that I was a poor soul that had a demon in me, and they Bible thumping ambushed me to exorcise the demon. Y'all, I left them people there screaming prayers at me. They were shooting prayers at me all the way through the woods. I could literally hear the prayers. Pew, 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 pew. I could hear them shooting through the woods, and they were doing their best. I left there laughing my bejesus off. I'm not kidding you. And that's all it was. It was just a Bible thumping ambush. I've had to deal with two of those in my career in the paranormal, and that was the funniest one. Y'all, if y'all could just see these, I need to one day make a video of it. I really do. I need to get some actors and do a video of that because it was just so flippin' funny. These little old people that, and another thing that I found out much later on, much later, I found out this because I went back to that cabin because I wanted to, I was kind of hoping it was on it. But I found out that there was a road in the rear of this property that you came off of a blacktop paved road, the highway that came through there, and you just turned on this little dirt road off of that main highway, and it went maybe not even a mile into the back portion of this property that this cabin was in. And that's where they had came in at, but they told me to come the other way. I'd never been there. I didn't know the directions to this place. They gave me the directions, and they wanted me to come up that way so they would hear me coming, and so that I would have time to, get that demon out of me, because they knew that they were praying and that was hallowed ground now. And that as closer I got, the demon wouldn't be in me. I guess they were hoping it wouldn't be in me by the time they got to them. They wouldn't have to deal with no demon. I don't think they had a problem with dealing with a demon. I really don't, especially the old guy. The old man that was there, I don't think he would have had a problem. He would have took a demon by the short and curlies and spun him around his head. They were some faith-based Bible thumpers. I ain't kidding. Y'all have to y'all have to think of Aunt B with Amish clothing and white hair. That was both of the ladies. Think of, did anybody watch the movie Poltergeist? Do you remember the minister in Poltergeist? You know, the leader of all the ghosts that was there? That's what the old guy looked like. And so, but he wasn't as tall as that guy, and he was kind of hunched over. All three of them were kind of hunched. Even walking from that little road that came in the back way to where they had to walk to get to the cabin, even that had to have been a chore for them. And y'all can just imagine these three really old people machine gunning prayers at me as I'm running out of this place. I wasn't running, I was walking. I told them that goodbye, that I wasn't interested in all this, and just kind of shoved them off or wrote them off like you would have Jehovah's Witness coming to your house kind of thing, so yeah, that was my first experience with Bible thumping ambush. And for years I laughed and laughed about that, and it never angered me. I never got mad about it because I knew that they were doing everything that they did out of love, and out of compassion, and they were generally concerned, and that's fine, and it really is. I mean, what's it going to hurt to be prayed for? That never hurts. So the next time that happened was actually in a church. I had been going to this church for a little while. I worked with a gentleman that was a member of the church, and he told me to come and visit the church, and I did, and I liked it, and it was Assembly of God as well, and I returned to the church several times, and it wasn't quite as comical and planned out as the first one, but they did an altar call, and I was encouraged to go down to the altar call. And while I was down there, that subject came up, and they said that we would like to pray for this young man because he is a paranormalist, and he's a devil worshiper and all this stuff. So again, I just politely thanked everyone for their concerns, and I left. Let me catch up with y'all's comments here. Okay, I saw that. Yes, Sunset, we haven't experienced demons. Make sure you have we did an investigation. Baggins, we did an investigation that Paranormal Experiences left. They wouldn't do it. They got scared and ran away. Whatever you do, don't get on the bed. Okay, because this thing is will tip over. Cappy, you should go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Illinois. That place is haunted. You want to show them that? Yeah, bring it on over.
As you can kind of see it.
Oh, it's the sun. Cool.
Yeah, I made it yellow and purple and blue.
Awesome. Good job. I like that. It's very pretty. Cool.
I had to do really careful because I had no towel or anything. I was like,
So make sure you didn't make a mess, huh?
yeah.
Good job. Good job. And you did that too. Cappy, you should go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Illinois. That place is haunted. You'll have to prove that to me, Sunset, because cemeteries usually aren't haunted. I prefer Chicago deep dish myself. John, you're such a nut. You get us permission and we will try to set it up. I don't know about all that now in Illinois. I'm not going all the way to Illinois to investigate a cemetery. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to do that. Cemeteries aren't haunted. You ran into a Mennonite demon hit squad. A Mennonite demon hit squad. That's too cool. If spirits don't go to heaven or hell but remain amongst us, then the preacher men get some questions they can't fully explain. They can't explain them, though. That's the thing. They can't explain that. We'll get into that. Greetings, beautiful Dakota. Oh, I wish I'd have known you said that. I'll tell her you said hi. She could jump on that. Thank you, Black Tower. I'll let her know. There are YouTube videos on it. I wouldn't believe a lot of that stuff you see on there. I wouldn't believe a lot of stuff you see on this show either, because it's on YouTube too. So I have to say that, because then I would be a bigot, right? I'd be very hypocritical. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say that this show was the same. It's not. That's why we do this, is to show you the real paranormal. I'm not saying Sunset or whoever that was. I think it was Sunset. I'm not saying that no cemetery has ever been haunted, but it's very unusual. Usually if there's a haunting at a cemetery, it's because of what used to be there, not what it is now. Spirits don't hang around their grave. That's just silly. Why would you do that? You die, you no longer have to walk around in this meat suit anymore, and you're going to hang around your grave? No. I just want a fitted cap with the CAPI logo on it. Okay, Black Tower, go to John. Throw up the merch link again, if you would, please, sir. Black Tower, whenever he throws up the a zombie cap, cool. When he throws up the merch link, go to that, and then I think the caps are on there, and just let us know if that's what you want. Is that you want a cap? Or you could PM me or John or Beth or Paramama. Yeah, just go there and tell them you want to, and see the cap. You know what? The best way to do it is just private message me on Facebook. That'd be the best way to do it. Just PM me, and then I'll get you set up to get you a cap. Absolutely. I didn't want to get into much of this tonight, because we're getting close to time to stop, but I do want to get into something that was said or emailed Johnny at. There you go. That's perfect. Whoever said they wanted a cap, whoever wants a cap, any merch that you want, email me. Thank you, John, for doing that. I'll have to do it afterwards. It won't let me go there without shutting down. That's fine. Yeah, just do it. Just get that email right there. Write that down. jrushing.cappy@gmail.com, and email me that you want a cap. All right. Don't just let me remember it, because I promise you I won't. You've got to email me and let me know. Anybody that's on right now that wants merch, just email me at that email address, and I'll get you set up. Absolutely. All right. I don't remember who it was. Let me go back. I think it was Black Tower. Yeah, it was. He said, if spirits don't go to heaven or hell, but remain amongst us, then the preacher man gets some questions they can't fully answer. That's absolutely correct and absolutely not correct at the same time, Black Tower. So it's an awesome question, or statement, actually. That's why I kind of wanted to tile this into the hypocrisy there, and the inability. And the reason I say it's absolutely correct and absolutely wrong at the same time is because of this. Most ministers that I have come in contact with do believe in the paranormal, do believe in ghosts and spirits. Now, there's a lot of them that believe that ghosts and spirits are demons, but nonetheless, they do believe in them. In 1975, a lot of churches got away from exorcisms. In the mid to late 80s, that had trickled down to the Catholic Church as well. And then pretty much the mid to late 90s, they'd completely gotten away from it. The Catholic Church gotten away from, well, let me put it this way. They got away from reporting exorcisms. I kind of think they still do them. Okay, Black Tower, that's cool. You're welcome. I kind of think the Catholic Church still does exorcisms. They just don't report them like they did because it was bad press whenever someone would die or something. But there had been, before the 70s, 80s, and 90s, there were countless exorcisms, not just in the Catholic Church, but in pretty much all sects of Christianity. The Pentecostals were doing exorcisms right there in the church. The Presbyterians were doing it in the church and at homes. It was crazy. I mean, everybody was doing them. Then whenever it started getting a popularization to it, then people started kind of saying, well, we don't want to talk a bunch about this, you know. And then, of course, you had a few cases. I'm not going to go into which ones. Y'all know the ones where, you know, a couple people died during the exorcisms, which is not uncommon. It's unfortunate. It sucks, but it does happen. Yeah, laying on hands is being done now by holiness churches and some non-denominational. Absolutely, it is, Black Tower. But that's, laying on hands is not necessarily an exorcism. All right. But we'll get into that later in the series. But most of the ministers, even today, most of the ministers, I grew up in South Alabama, these church groups got you. Most of the ministers, even today, still believe in the paranormal and still believe in ghosts, and they don't think that all of them are demons or anything like that. Very scary people. Some of them are very scary. You're right. Case in point, we had a Presbyterian church call us, and we went, and my case manager and I went and met with the minister at the church, at the Presbyterian church. It's a very well-known Presbyterian church too. If you're in a certain town in Alabama, you know this church because it plays music every hour. The whole town knows about this church. Anyway, we were asked to come in and meet with the minister about some paranormal activity happening inside the church. Now, I've done churches before, so I didn't have a problem with it. And we went and sat down and spoke with the minister, and he told us about all the stuff that was going on there and stuff that he has seen and experienced himself, and some of the other people had seen and experienced. And he wanted us to come in and do an investigation. So I said, absolutely, we will. So we went and sat down and met with him and everything. And that was around Monday or Tuesday. That following Saturday, we were going to do the investigation. Thursday, we get a call from the same minister that says, hey, you're going to have to cancel the investigation this weekend. I can't have you guys out. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, can I ask you why? You know, and he said, look, the elders of the church, which is, for the people, if you by chance don't know how a church operates, a minister is not the boss of the church. All right. A minister is kind of like the Queen of England. You know, it's just a figurehead. He's not the boss. He has a boss. The bosses are called the elders or the fellows of the church, or the deacons. Usually your head deacon is your boss man at your church. Or if they have a board, well, they have to have a board. The president of the board is the Hello Scientific Research, is the boss of the church, not the minister. He gets a paycheck from them. And so he said, look, the elders contacted me. They found out about you guys coming. They contacted me and said, quote unquote, if you let the devil worshiping king in this church, this will be the last time you minister anywhere. And so he said, I can't lose my job. You know, I mean, I can't be kicked out of the church. So, you know, I can't let you come. And we completely understood. I told him, I said, 100% understand. If we can ever help you guys in the future, just let us know. And I've had other ministers talk to me about it and says, hey, I would love for you guys to come out to my house or to the church, but I can't do it. Because another thing about churches, if you didn't know, a lot of times the minister lives in a house that is actually owned by the church. The church owns the property that the minister lives in. And So he was saying, they're like, we can't, I would love for you to come out because we definitely have all this stuff happening. But if you do, and they get wind of it, they're going to can me quicker than I can say, hallelujah. So a lot of ministers do believe in that. New age ministers, let me put it that way. A lot of your newer ministers believe in the paranormal, but their hands are tied. It's the elders, which is usually what hurts you, the Bible thumpers, the Bible standers, the ones that stands on the Bible. They're the ones that most of those are the ones that those old Baptists, old Presbyterian, old Pentecostals believe that devil worshiping is what we do, and so they'll fight against it. So a lot of times there is there. Now I want to get back into what we were talking about whenever what Black Tower says. Pastors lives in a house that the church. Yeah, a lot of times they do. Yeah. All right, I want to get back into what Black Tower was talking about when he made that statement. I did a little experiment, if you will, one time with a minister. I was for a lot of people don't know that I've been through a lot of tragedy in my life. I lost my wife. I lost one of my children. I almost lost my life. At one point, I was told that I had 6 months to a year to live, and there was nothing they could do about it. I've had a lot of tragedy in my life. One of the times that I spoke with a minister on some of the stuff that I'd gone through, I posed a question to him. And the question that I posed to the minister was, great guy, by the way, one of the best men I've ever met in my life. I would still go to his sermon. He's an awesome, awesome minister. But I asked him a question. I said, most Christianity believe that everything happens for a reason and everyone has a time to go and all this stuff. He said, yes. I said, well, I want you to tell me what is the reason. What reason is so good that God would allow me to lose my wife and child? What reason does he have to make that happen? Because I can't right now look or think or meditate or pray for or place faith in any reason that I had to go through that in such a small amount of time. And his answer to that was, and this is where I'm coming to. His answer to that was, quote, we don't always know God's reasons, but all answers will be given to us in his time. I said, okay. All right. I said, do aliens and ghosts exist? And that's a question I've posed to many ministers and many fathers and to many reverends. The answer that I've always gotten on that questions that when I asked, are aliens and ghosts real? Are there really aliens out there? And are there really ghosts? Not demons, but ghosts of living people that have died. Are they still, are they there? And the answer that I've gotten more than not is always, quote, no. If it was, God would have told us so. I'm like, wait a minute. So if ghosts are real and aliens are real, God would have told us that. Right. Exactly. Okay. So your answer to a quandary about someone losing a loved one or child, or to the person that their soulmate that they grew up with, met in the 4th grade, grew up together, got married, had a family, was madly every day in love, gone. And then just months later, a child, gone. Your answer to that is God doesn't give us all the answers right now, but he will one day. And then you turn around and your answer to do ghosts and aliens exist is no, they don't exist, because God would have told us that. That right there got me, man. It got me so hard, because I was like, okay, so if it's a life question about what does and doesn't exist, then God would have told us that. But if it's a lost question or a emotionally painful or mortality question, if you will, then we've got to wait on those answers. The hypocrisy there blew my mind. And so I always just said, okay, thank you, and then just walked away, because it was never going to happen that I would get the answer that I was seeking. I was never going to get that answer. And I understood that. I didn't fault them for that. I faulted the practice, the Christian practice, because that's where that hypocrisy was bred. I'm gonna get to y'all's comments. I know you're popping them up. I can see my little blue light going on. But that's where that was bred, is through that teaching. And we're going to get into where those teachings came from, what laws and regulations or verses, if you will, they use to accommodate those ideas and to back up those things, so that it all plays in. All right, so let me catch up with y'all's comments really quick. Pastor lives in a house in the church device. What is your favorite ghost hunting device? What is my favorite ghost hunting device? My favorite ghost hunting device would have to be a digital recorder, because I love EVPs so much. That would have to be my favorite, is a digital recorder. Oh, brother, I am so sorry to hear that, but I am so glad you're still. Oh, about all that. Yeah, it's good. Thank you, Black Tower. That was very nice of you. CAPI doesn't have fans. We have family. Where did he say fans? I haven't seen anybody say fans. I must not have saw that one. Yeah, we don't have fans. Thank you, John, for answering that. I didn't see it. We don't have fans. We don't call anyone that watches the show or anyone that comes to our events or anything like that fans. We call them family. We don't have fans. We don't deserve fans. I'm seeing that, and I love that about Kathy. Oh, thank you, Black Tower. We love you too. My thoughts on tragedy in a nutshell. Sometimes God allows us to go through the fire because one day we will be called upon to help other persons through those flames. I 100% agree with that. Absolutely. We go through tragedy so that we will know, because the best person to talk to an alcoholic is an alcoholic. The best person to talk about loss is someone who has lost, right? The best person to talk to someone about addiction is someone who's been an addict. So I 100% agree with that. But that's not the point I was making. The point I was making is their response thereof. Whenever I asked the question why I had to go through this, the answers were always God doesn't tell us everything. He will in his own time. But then whenever it was ghosts and aliens, then, no, God would have told us that. Well, what's the difference between that and that? Well, maybe there are ghosts and demons, or not demons, but ghosts and aliens, but God just hasn't told us yet. He will in his own time. See, that's why, that's what I was saying there. But yeah, I agree with you there. from my point of view, you're still here for me to find and be a part of my own small way, and that is not to take away from you, your losses, pain, or any others. All. But Tyler, that doesn't take away from anything, buddy. I appreciate you saying that. I was confused about the comment too, but I understood what you were saying. Yeah. Ghosts are definitely real. Aliens are real, but I think they are more interdimensional than from outer space. I agree with you, Michelle. I kind of think that too. I really do. I really do. Maybe we'll do a series on that, on aliens. We should do a series on aliens. We've never done one. We don't talk much about aliens because we don't do alien investigations, because it's never been proven to me without a shadow of a doubt that they're real. But yeah, we could do I don't have a problem with doing a series on aliens. I do study them. I do. That was one of my favorite things to study in the paranormal was aliens. But yeah, we could definitely do that. Absolutely. Guys, what I want you to take from tonight is that there is a difference between what traditional Christianity says about ghost hunters and what reality is about ghost hunters. All right. I want you to take that tonight. Next Sunday, we will continue this series. And next Sunday, we did one on ufology. We did really? I don't remember doing one on ufology, but that doesn't say anything because I have the worst memory in the world. One of the things I did get whenever I was told I was going to die, I had the chances of losing my sight, my hearing, speech, and memory. My sight did get worse. My hearing got a lot worse. There's certain tones I can't hear at all. My speech, thank goodness, didn't become affected, but my memory did. I lost a lot of my long-term memory and some of my short-term memory. And if there's someone that I like grew up with, like a family member, some family members, I don't, and I see them like after 15, 20 years, I'll see someone that I hadn't seen in that long and I won't know who they are. So I did lose a lot of my memory. So my memory is pretty bad. So if John says we did it on there, then we have. But yeah, we can do another one. I'm so jealous I missed that conversation. We'll do another one. Don't worry about it. I have had a lot of experiences most people would think was crazy. That's the way the paranormal is, Michelle. I was a guest host. It was before you invited me to join the team. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember you being a guest host that night. Yep, I do. Now that you say that, I do remember that. I seem to be a paranormal magnet. Awesome. Me too. So next Sunday, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the different religions, the different sects of Christianity, and we're going to view what they say about the paranormal and ghosts. And we're going to talk about what their translation of the scripture is to what reality actually is. All right. So you don't want to miss next Sunday. It's going to tie a lot of what we talked about tonight into what the discussion. And then after that, we're going to go more into the religions that do practice in the paranormal. And then we're going to tie them all together at the end. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the show tonight. I do apologize for my tardiness. I will work on that, I promise. We're just trying to get the move done, and the weekends are really the only time we can do it. And yeah, I'm just not going to make excuses anymore. I'm just going to do my best to be here on time. Okay, I promise. I love you guys so much. I want y'all to do me a huge favor this week, if you don't mind. I don't care if it's a friend, family member, or someone you pass on the street. Please make somebody smile this coming week. If it's just one person, just make one person smile. All right. I would really appreciate it if you did that. I love you guys. I want you to have a paranormal week. We'll see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care. Good night.